this is Laura from Feeling Fabulous, and today we're going to make a marvelous Moroccan lentil soup. The key to my soup are mushrooms, and I love mushrooms, especially in the winter when we're having less sunlight and we tend to get more seasonal affective disorder and vitamin D deficiency. And mushrooms have a large amount of vitamin D. So I love using more mushrooms, especially in the winter. So we're going to start with a stock pot. I recommend a stock pot with a lip, something that makes it easy to pour into another container or food processor, because that's what we're going to be using. If you don't have a pot with a lip, you can use one that I've used also without one, and then you just spoon it into the food processor or transfer it to a bowl. That works as well. The one that I'm showing does not have a lip, but I do highly recommend it because it will make it easier to transfer after it's cooked. So we're going to start with a small amount of water. I started with roughly 1/4 cup and ended using 1/2 cup because I want to coat the bottom of the pot with water. I try not to use any oil or butter, which has more calories and more saturated fat. On a medium heat, I'm going to add my roughly chopped oyster mushrooms, red onions, and minced garlic. You can roughly chop the sweet potatoes, mushrooms, and onions. I also mince the garlic so that the flavor comes out easier and it's easier to cook and blend. But when we put it in a blender or use the immersion blender, it will blend up completely into a puree form. I like using oyster mushrooms. They have a buttery flavor which makes it for a more mild soup and doesn't overpower the soup when it's cooked. So I'm going to stir occasionally until the onions become translucent, which is a pearly white color. That takes approximately 3 or 4 minutes, and this is on medium heat. Once I have the onions pearly white, I'm adding in my unsweetened almond milk, low sodium vegetable broth, which you can buy in the store or you can make. It's pretty easy to make and store it in the freezer. Low sodium vegetable broth will never be 0 milligram sodium because there are certain vegetables like celery that have a natural sodium to them. So just be aware that when you're trying to watch your salt intake for blood pressure reasons, that you take into account that there is sodium in low sodium vegetable broth. So now that I've added in the vegetable broth, I'm adding in my sweet potatoes and lentils. I'm also adding in my bay leaf and my spices. The spices are very simple. I'm using Himalayan salt, black pepper, a Moroccan blend that I bought from Amazon, and I'm using chili powder. Very simple. Now that I've added in all the ingredients, I'm just going to stir occasionally, put the lid back on the pot, and let it heat to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to remove the pot from the burner, turn the burner off, let the soup cool. I highly recommend that because if you don't and you accidentally spill it while you're transferring it to the food processor or you're using the immersion blender, you have a higher risk of burning yourself. So I highly recommend that you let it cool first before pouring it into anything or using an immersion blender, because it happens to the best of us. And it did happen to me as well. So just be aware, you have to be pretty careful since it is hot. Now that it's cooled down, I'm pouring it into my Vitamix. You can use any food processor. I'm going to start on low speed, like 1, and turn it up to a 5 speed for about 5 or 10 seconds until I see that the soup is completely blended. Now that it's blended, I'm going to pour it back into the stock pot. Put it on medium heat, let it heat up again, and I'm going to add in spinach. You can change that to kale, that's fine. Once the spinach has wilted and the soup has come to a boil, we're ready to serve. And this soup took approximately 40 minutes to make. Very simple. Also very inexpensive and full of vitamin D, protein, and it tastes delicious. If you're looking for more recipes like this, please comment and like our video. I highly recommend that you visit us at www.feelingfablmc.com. And if you're looking to reverse or prevent your diseases through lifestyle medicine and nutrition, again, contact us at www.feelingfablmc.com. So if you would like us to make a recipe that you want healthier, please comment below. Thank you so much, and looking forward to seeing you at Feeling Fabulous next time. Bon appetit!